I feel good. The team's feeling good. We have some mistakes to clear up and some things to fix on, but this showed us a lot. We can go in the film room and learn a lot from this game, and we can get a lot better for this.
Brett, the offense had trouble getting into rhythm. Is it something that Stanford was doing?
No, I feel like a lot of it is on us. There's times when you have a false start on offense, and you'll come back and it's looking like 1st and 15, or else obviously I'll make a bad read. Or there's things tackle for loss. There's things where you're going, but then you get hit back. This offense is a lot of a tempo-paced offense. So the thing that we try to do is stay on our rhythm and our pace. And there was a lot of times when we were getting knocked back, and we can't have that. As long as we stay on track and do what we're supposed to do, we can really get things going.
How are the youngsters on the offensive line doing right now?
They're doing good. There's a lot of stuff they're taking in right now. We have some more people stepping up on the offensive line with, a couple injuries here and there. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna help them out as much as I can. But they're here for a reason. They're here to play some football. We have expectations for anybody who's on the field, and we believe they can get it done if they're playing. So they'll be out there. They're doing good. There's a lot of things that we can all collectively get better at, but I can help them a lot with as far as reads and calling out stuff. But they're doing good. We still got to get better, but they're doing pretty well.
Is there anything you can do kind of specifically to help Jake work through the snapping problem that he's kind of going through?
We can get out here after practice and just take more snaps, to be honest. Then we'll get to it. When practice start back up tomorrow, obviously we watched the film Sunday and yesterday and today. But tomorrow when we get back to practice, then we'll just got to practice. Practice makes perfect, pretty much.
What kind of coverage was Stanford showing you, and was it anything different than what you've seen so far this year?
No, not at all. They showed some 2-man, they showed some 4, some 6, some 3. They pretty much showed everything, and that's what we expected. We knew what coverage we were getting into. Stanford just played a really good game. Their defense came out and played well, and there was just a couple things that we killed ourselves on. So as long as we get better on our mistakes, and we can do a lot out there.
How important is it for you guys to stay on tempo, stay on schedule, especially in this next week against an offense that was doing the same thing and has had success finding rhythm all year long?
Yeah, it's huge for us to be able to do that, and not sort of shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties. That hurts a lot, this offense. But just staying on track as far as moving the ball forward, no matter if it's a yard or even 2. Just staying on track, make sure we're not moving backwards, but we're moving forward every play.
How much has third down kind of changed in the last few games? It seemed like you guys did so well to start the season, then last few games it's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, last few games it's started to slow down a little bit. I'm not for sure the statistic at Stanford, but I know it still wasn't what we're used to being. But there's a lot of things we can work on the game plan and just helping ourselves out, and even me checking the play on third downs if we see something we don't really like, just checking out of it and going to something that'll work.
How important is that against a team that you need to keep their offense off the field to win?
That's huge, and I think this game is going to be a big one about that. It's going to show a lot about sort of this offense and our offense and what we have to do. We just have to keep their offense off the field as much as possible and just score some points.
Does it feel like it's any harder to fix the penalties at this point in the season, just because it's something that's always recurring now?
It's hard to say. We're just going to wipe them all out because obviously they've been plaguing us for a little bit, but. It's something we just really have to fix, and whatever that may be, we got to find a way, because penalties hurt a team, and you can't expect to put up high numbers or be the team you want to be when you're getting a lot of penalties every game. So that's one thing that we really have to fix. But we'll fix. A lot of the penalties are things that we can fix rather than not getting personal fouls or anything. It's more of like offsides or stuff before the ball is snapped. So we can fix a lot of those.
How do you fix it without maybe sometimes overthinking it and exacerbating the problem?
Yeah, sometimes. I think sometimes for that, the best situation is just to sort of stay on top of it throughout practice. Obviously, we have referees coming and stuff like that, and just staying on top of it. And no matter what we have to do, if it's changing the snap count or simplifying what we do as far as pre-snap, then we'll have to do it.
From your perspective, were they doing anything different on the front that was causing all the offensive line penalties, the snap infractions, the false starts?
No, not really. I think everything we studied, they pretty much came with it. And Stanford's really good at that. They show what they're going to give, and they do, and they execute what they need to. So, we knew what they were coming with. We knew everything that they came with, and that's why I said we just sort of shot ourselves in the foot, and we got to be better.
with a young offensive line and you having to scramble maybe a little bit more, do you change anything in terms of how you run the offense, like maybe on the run? I mean, you were scrambling a lot in the last few games.
Yeah, it's sometimes a little difficult, but at the end of the day, like I say, I try to take as much as I can on myself. And obviously that's something that I expect to do, and I try to help out, that as we have a little young offensive line, they're trying their best out there. So whatever I can do to help them, that's what I got to do, no matter what, if that may be stepping up and learning how to just, anything I could do really, just moving around in the pocket, just keeping my eyes downfield when I got a rusher coming free, just anything and everything I can do to help them, I'm gonna try to do it. So whatever that may need to be, I got to get it done.
Does that change your mental approach at all?
No, it just, I sort of take it as a challenge. I mean, if there's some things that I need to work at, obviously, then I'm going to get better at them. And, if it's something where I really need to, help my offensive line and help them, then sometimes I have to do it. And I mean, I'll keep my eyes down the field no matter what's happening, what's going on back there. I just got to trust that they're going to get their job done and do my part.
Do you practice throwing on the run at all?
We usually it just sort of happens. It's a little different practicing it when you're sort of going through your progressions and sort of sitting back there and practice. It's a little different because you can't really be touched as a quarterback. So everybody's going around you and you can just stay in the pocket. But in the game, it's live, you're moving. So sometimes you may look, and then if you get rushed that way, you can't really look that side no more. You got to run this side. But so it's sort of like it's called the scramble drill. I mean, when the quarterback gets out the pocket, everybody got to take off, and we sort of have markers on where everybody's supposed to be. But we just got to work on it.
Pretty confident in your improv skills, though?
Yeah, gotta be, man. Gotta be. You gotta be able to make stuff happen. And sometimes, not everything's gonna be perfect. So if a play does break down, gotta be able to take off. So God's blessed me with some legs, so gotta use them, man. Gotta use them.
Stanford hits a little harder than Martyrs, don't they?
They do. They do. Yeah, they do.
Ekpreolamu is unanimously regarded as the top cornerback in the conference. What are your assessments of him, and how do you approach when a team has a dominant lockdown corner like that?
He's a great corner, but I have confidence in my receivers and what they can get done. So as long as they're on schedule and our receivers know where I expect them and we're sort of on the same page, I feel like you can't really defend a well-placed throw or a great route and stuff like that. So as long as we're doing what we need to do and as efficient as we should be and can be, then, people are just out there just to cover it. We can get the balls to the receiver.
Seemed pretty consistently Stanford had guys in the backfield that were coming after you. How do you gear yourself up, I guess, for looking downfield and knowing that if you do get that pass downfield, you're going to get hit? Yeah,
that's sometimes it's a little hard throughout film as we can watch. There's sometimes when there's guys running open, but you got to move around and try to get the ball off, and sometimes you can't really find those guys when you're moving around like that. But that's what I said. Whatever I can do to help out my offensive line, they're trying their best, and I got to be able to help them out. So if I got to sit in there, sometimes I may just take a hit and it may not be able to get downfield. It may just be a sack or whatever. But if I can move around, step around the pocket, move up, or do whatever I got to do and help my offensive line and get that ball down the field, I'm gonna do it.
I know you said before that you'd be okay with leading the team in rushing. Is that something you feel like, maybe you're going to show off your rushing skills a little bit more with the offensive line still kind of depleted?
If it happens that way, it happens. But I do have full confidence knowing that our offensive line can get back there and do the job that they need to do. That's not really a quarterback's job, but hey, if it turns out to be, then it's going to be.
Do you match or compare yourself at all to in a game like this when maybe the Heisman front runner at quarterback is on the other team? Do you compare yourself at all when you're playing, or is that something where you gear yourself up a little bit more maybe?
Nah, not really. I really have after last year I sort of become the firm believer of knowing that it's every week is a new opportunity. No matter who's really, to be honest, it's not that I really worry too much about who's lining up across from me on the other side of the ball or who I'm really looking at. Mariota's a great quarterback and he's just done some great things with that program. But at the end of the day, if I come in there and we do what we're supposed to do, anybody can be beat on any given Saturday. So it's gonna be fun.
What do you think makes Mariota so good?
The way he plays, I think he's a very efficient quarterback. He knows the system very well and works well in that system. So he's a good quarterback with that offense.
You go against Anthony in practice every day. This seems like the sort of game that fits his strength, his versatility and athleticism. He seems like the only guy who could be one-on-one with D'Anthony, and you feel like it's a fair fight.
Yeah. Anthony Barr, he's a great defensive player. He's showing really what he can do this year. Everybody thought he couldn't pass cover or anything like that. But I mean, he can do it all and everything. And I mean, he's really good at it in practice. You know, I try to trash talk and get in his head a little bit, but it never works, man. He's flawless at what he does and very efficient. I mean, even in one-on-one man coverage, we'll have our slots out there and he'll be covering them and have them on lockdown. So, I mean, this game is going to fit his strength and it's going to show really what he can do as a full defensive player.
As a mobile quarterback, what's the thought process between trying to balance keeping plays alive, running around, but then also recognizing that the rush is just a little bit too close, just got to throw it away?
Yeah, I think it's actually turned out a lot better this year. Last year, obviously, we had some tough times with that, but this year I'm starting to get the hang of that, and I think it sort of takes about a year to understand that and sort of realize when to throw it away or when to take off running or when to try to extend the play, and you sort of get a feel for it. It's not really a set in stone type of thing, but it's sort of just keeping your eyes downfield. If none's there, it's sort of like a process that you go through as a quarterback. And if you really can't get nothing, throw it away. But if you can, you take what you can get, and then just don't make nothing bad out of it.
Yeah. This is a team you guys might match up to a little bit better, a little more similar styles of play than the physicality of Stanford last week.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But at the end of the day, Stanford's a great team. They're very physical, but I believe honestly this team can really match up with anybody in the country as far as physicality or speed. I think we have sort of both a strong suit to that. I mean, with our defense playing the way they're playing, they're very physical, hard-nosed, but they're still fast and running around there, making tackles. And the offense is very physical, but we're still fast in that aspect too. So there's two sides to that.